We are continuing the third part of the lecture today. Now, gender bias is the tendency to prefer one gender over another. Gender bias is the prejudice in action and treatment against person on the basis of their sexual differences. It is a system or practice that give preference for an individual or group on account of their gender identity. It can be a result of cultural belief or structural arrangement that favor one gender identity over another and ends up with severe discrimination. The opposite action and prevention of gender biasness is gender neutral, which is only possible with the help of gender awareness and sensitization. On the pictures over here, we can see the famous cartoon Meena. While UNESCO has portrayed the present practices of gender biasness in the context of Bangladesh, we have seen how Meena every day breaks the prejudices of the villagers, keeps on making them aware, and finally tries to create a better, sensitive, and neutral village. The last terminology we will discuss is gender stereotype. Gender stereotypes are societal perceptions or value systems or assumptions and generalizations that are made about the characteristics, behavior, roles, expectations about a particular gender category based upon certain pre-established notions and beliefs. It has almost no factual or logical reality or ground, often painful, negative, and discriminatory while makes sense. For example, let's look at few English proverbs. Boys don't cry, don't behave like a girl. Woman made of glass. Frailty, thy name is woman, which is one of the famous dialogues of Shakespeare's famous play Hamlet. The other one is men make houses, women make homes. And then beauty and chastity seldom agree. So, what we see and believe here are just pre established beliefs and assumptions which have no validation socially and culturally. We have kept one burning example here to demonstrate how gender stereotypes can outline our thoughts and way of life at the very early stage. The projected image here is a page of a textbook which is authorizing and establishing the gender division of labor that portrays and reveals a strong prevalence of female stereotypes. Women appear in a narrow range of occupational roles, primarily engaged in domestic chores, while male occupational roles are associated with power, prestige, and wealth. The challenging area here is that whoever will read and study the prescribed curriculum will start believing consciously and subconsciously that female and male responsibilities are limited to such obligations. Whereas gender stereotypes are mostly results of ignorance and lack of education, gender biasness, on the other hand, is a choice or preference consciously and unconsciously. So, gender stereotypes can be eradicated with the help of gender sensitization. But gender biasness, as it is a personal or social or cultural choice and preference, it cannot be eradicated unless the group of people, the society, or the individual want utmost to change the practice of being biased. Gender stereotypes have many forms in terms of exclusion and misinterpretation of a particular gender. It can lead and shape up various forms such as linguistic sexism, visual exclusion and misinterpretation, gender biases, discrimination, especially when it is celebrated in textbooks. It can affect children at the very early stage and the whole generation, and consequently the entire society. Well, that was all for today's lecture. I hope you have enjoyed much with me. The basic idea is to create a gender sensitive society globally and nationally by ensuring gender equality through awareness and eliminating all sorts of biasness and stereotypes. Thank you all for your persistence and humble regards.